She had all sorts of wonderful little idiosyncrasies. She used to fart in her sleep. I'm sorry I shared that with you. One night it was so loud it woke the dog up.
There are funny people. There are comedians who can make a room laugh. And then there was Robin Williams, a man who operated on a completely different frequency from every other human being in the entertainment industry. We're not talking about rehearsed jokes or scripted bits. We're talking about a human being who could walk into any room, a talk show, an award ceremony, a film set, a royal gala, and within seconds, completely dismantle the composure of the most powerful, most polished, most professionally trained performers on the planet. He didn't just make people laugh, he broke them. Legendary broadcasters, method actors, the world's best improvisers, even actual royalty. Nobody was safe, and nobody could keep up. These are the moments that prove it. The farting wife ad-lib, 1997. Let's start with the moment Robin Williams broke Matt Damon so badly that the camera operator couldn't even hold the equipment steady. They're filming Good Will Hunting, one of the most emotionally intense scenes in the movie. Williams, playing the grieving therapist, is supposed to share a deeply personal, carefully scripted story about his late wife. Williams threw the script out entirely. Instead of the written monologue, he invented a story on the spot about his wife's flatulence. With complete dramatic sincerity, the kind of delivery that could win an Oscar, and literally did. He described how she used to fart in her sleep so loudly that it would wake the dog. Matt Damon lost it, completely. He broke character, fell into breathless, uncontrollable laughter, and could not pull himself together. Director Gus Van Sant said the set erupted into the loudest environment he had ever directed. And if you watch the final cut, you can see the frame shaking, because the camera operator was laughing too hard to hold the rig steady. Van Sant kept it in the movie. That genuine laughter you see from Damon, that's not acting. That's a man who just got ambushed by Robin Williams during what was supposed to be the most serious scene of his career, The Unbreakable De Niro, 1990. If breaking Matt Damon is impressive, consider this. Robin Williams also broke Robert De Niro, the most intense method actor in the history of cinema, a man who famously does not laugh on set, who stays in character between takes, who treats filmmaking like surgery. During the filming of Awakenings in 1990, De Niro was deep inside one of the most physically demanding roles of his career.
I'd go for a walk, I'd look at things, I'd talk to people.
Williams made it his personal mission to destroy that focus. Behind-the-scenes footage shows Williams launching rapid-fire impressions and pure absurdity between takes, and the footage captures something almost nobody else has ever managed to produce. Robert De Niro completely cracking up, bending over, clutching his stomach. The most impenetrable man in Hollywood, reduced to a giggling mess by a co-star who simply could not be contained. The Elmo Meltdown, 1991. You might think breaking a dramatic actor is the ultimate test, but there's actually a harder target, a professional puppeteer. Puppeteers are trained to completely separate their physical reactions from their characters. They're invisible. The character exists. That's the entire job.
He talks and Elmo just loses it.
In 1991, Robin Williams guest starred on Sesame Street. His assignment was simple: show Elmo the imaginative things you can do with a stick.
Oh, Mr. Williams!
Elmo.
What are you going to do with that stick?
Oh, there's lots of things you can do with this stick, Elmo.
Williams immediately hijacked the prop. He mimed playing hockey, turned the stick into a conductor's baton, marched as an English officer. He cycled through characters so fast that master puppeteer Kevin Clash started physically shaking with suppressed laughter. And then the puppet slumped. Elmo literally collapsed over the set box because Clash could not control his own body. Williams looked at the incapacitated puppet and delivered the killing blow. He told Elmo that he had 2 Academy Awards, and the best thing he could do with the stick was give it to Elmo.
I have 2 Academy Awards, Elmo.
Clash broke completely. Production stopped. Robin Williams broke Elmo. Let that sink in. The Johnny Carson Hijack, 1991. Johnny Carson was the king of late-night television. Nobody, and I mean nobody, took over Johnny Carson's show. He controlled the desk. He controlled the pacing. That was the deal. In 1991, Carson asked Williams a perfectly standard question about losing the Academy Award for Awakenings.
Ask you one serious question all tonight.
Oh, one serious
When you're doing the thing like first of all, you're a good actor.
Williams launched into a full-body, hyperkinetic reenactment of the psychological torment of sitting in the audience and hearing someone else's name called. He contorted his face into the fake, agonizing smile of the loser. He pantomimed the internal rage. He narrated the bitter, expletive-laden thoughts running through a defeated star's mind. Carson was done. He leaned so far back in his chair he practically disappeared behind the desk, dissolved into helpless laughter, and just let Williams take over the entire national broadcast. The most powerful man in television became a passive spectator on his own show. The Richard Pryor Roast, 1977. Here's the thing about Robin Williams. He was doing this before he was even famous. In 1977, Richard Pryor was the most dangerous comedian alive, the undisputed king. When his NBC show got canceled, the cast threw an unaired roast, and a virtually unknown Robin Williams stepped up to the podium. In 90 seconds, Williams fired off 10 rapid-fire jokes at machine gun pace, using his entire body, shifting through voices and characters. And then he delivered the one that ended it. He looked directly at Pryor and called him a genius, the only person who could take every form of comedy and turn it into something that offends everyone.
All I can say, though, is this man's a genius. Now, who else can take all the forms of comedy, slapstick, satire, mime, and stand-up, and turn it into something that'll offend everyone?
Richard Pryor, a man who was notoriously difficult to impress and almost impossible to crack, threw his head back and surrendered to genuine, unguarded laughter. Before Williams had even become a household name, he had already proven that nobody was immune, not even the king. The Oprah Shield, 1996. Most of these moments are about Williams using his powers offensively, but this next one shows something different. This is Robin Williams using his ability to hijack an interview as a weapon of protection. In 1996, Williams and Nathan Lane appeared on Oprah to promote The Birdcage. At the time, Lane was deeply closeted. He lived in absolute terror that his personal life would be exposed on national television. And then Oprah asked Lane point blank if he was afraid of being typecast after playing a flamboyant role. The question pushed dangerously close to outing him on live TV. Williams saw the panic in Lane's eyes, and he moved instantly. Without hesitation, he snapped into a flamboyant character, physically dominated the frame to block Lane from the camera, and redirected the entire conversation with a barrage of improvisation so overwhelming that Oprah completely lost control of her own interview. Lane was saved. Years later, he called Williams a beautiful, sensitive soul.
He was the most compassionate and sensitive soul. And so, I mean, obviously, funny and an entertaining person.
Williams didn't break Oprah for laughs that day. He broke her to protect his friend. The Parkinson paralysis, 2002. Sir Michael Parkinson was supposed to be impossible, the elder statesman of British broadcasting. A man who had interviewed every major figure in global politics and entertainment with absolute composure for decades. Williams appeared on the BBC show in 2002 and immediately obliterated the refined British atmosphere. He launched into political satire and James Bond impressions.
Well, it's basically in America, it's to watch over and warn us when things bad are going to happen, because every so often Rumsfeld comes out and goes, I don't know where, I don't know when.
But the moment that ended Parkinson came when the host tried to have a serious conversation about Williams's recent heart surgery. Williams casually mentioned he'd received a bovine cow valve replacement, and then he told the esteemed British broadcaster that because of the cow valve, he could now crap standing up. Parkinson was finished. He buried his face in his hands. He wiped actual tears from his eyes. He couldn't form coherent questions. A man who had maintained icy composure through interviews with world leaders was reduced to a helpless, tear-streaked mess by a comedian who refused to let a heart surgery story stay serious for more than 10 seconds. The Jack Nicholson Rescue, 2003. At the 2003 Critics' Choice Awards, there was a three-way tie for Best Actor. Jack Nicholson won, but there was a problem. Nicholson was visibly, unmistakably high. He admitted on live television to being completely baked. His acceptance speech was falling apart. So Nicholson did the only logical thing. He called Robin Williams up to the stage to save him.
Well, I don't usually get this baked when it's on television. But I really, this is what's so great about this, because my speech was to say, look, it is on television. Robin, would you come up and give...
Williams sprinted to the podium and immediately became Nicholson's unfiltered inner monologue. He translated the slurred speech for the audience, declared that Jack was so happy he could drop a log right now, and thanked the critics for the Buddhist evening, because he came with no expectations and was leaving with nothing. He turned a televised disaster into the single funniest moment of the entire ceremony. The Improv Masters humbled. 2000. What happens when you put Robin Williams on a stage with the best improvisers in the world? He destroys them too. When Williams guest starred on Whose Line Is It Anyway?, he stepped directly into the arena with Colin Mockery, Ryan Stiles, and Wayne Brady, the acknowledged masters of live improvisational comedy. These are people whose entire careers are built on never breaking character. Williams didn't blend into their rhythm. He obliterated it. During the games, he unleashed such a relentless torrent of characters, physical stunts, and rapid-fire punchlines that the professional improvisers, the best in the world, were reduced to giggling, helpless bystanders. Mockery and Stiles stood there in sheer awe. Host Drew Carey was openly weeping at his desk.
World's worst subject for an interpretive dance.
Impotence is a horrifying thing.
He walked onto their home turf, he played their game, and he dominated every single one of them. The Royal Disruption. 2008. Breaking a comedian is hard. Breaking an interviewer is harder. But what about breaking actual royalty? In 2008, Robin Williams performed at a televised gala celebrating Prince Charles's 60th birthday. British royal protocol is extremely strict. Performers are expected to remain deferential and absolutely never mock the royal family to their faces. Williams marched to the edge of the stage, locked eyes with the royal box, and shouted directly at the future King of England. He roasted American politics, mocked Charles's physical features, and loudly announced that the prince had finally qualified for the government's winter fuel allowance.
To George W. Bush. Yes, it's the end of the reign of George II. The reign of error is over. America is officially out of rehab. Welcome us.
The cameras showed Prince Charles and Camilla in absolute unrecoverable hysterics, their rigid, trained-from-birth composure completely shattered by an American comedian who treated the heir to the British throne exactly the same way he treated everyone else. The Craig Ferguson Meltdown, 2013. And now, the last one. The one that might be the most important moment on this entire list. Not because it's the funniest, though it absolutely is, but because of when it happened. In 2013, near the end of his life, Robin Williams sat down with Craig Ferguson on The Late Late Show. Ferguson wasn't just any host. He was widely considered the sharpest, fastest wit in all of late night. The one guy people thought might actually be able to keep up. He couldn't. Williams instantly hijacked the interview. He bounced from roasting Donald Trump's hair to discussing his own struggles with sobriety to inventing a character described as a Chinese gangster who sounds Italian.
No one. Even Donald, I think Donald Trump's hair is actually another creature.
Yeah.
The hair's like going, good night, Donald, here we go.
He shifted between accents and characters so fast that Ferguson, the acknowledged king of late-night improvisation, simply surrendered. He leaned back in his chair, slapped his knee, and howled with breathless, uncontrollable laughter. He openly admitted he couldn't keep up. This was one of Robin Williams' final late-night appearances, near the end, and he was still faster than everyone, still funnier than everyone, still absolutely, undeniably, the most dangerous person who could ever sit in that guest chair. Even at the end, nobody could keep up with Robin Williams. Nobody ever could. 4 decades, 11 moments, talk show hosts, method actors, professional improvisers, puppeteers, and the future King of England, all of them broken, all of them helpless, all of them reduced to tears by a man whose mind moved faster than anyone else's in the history of the entertainment industry. Robin Williams didn't just tell jokes, he rewrote reality faster than anyone in the room could process it, and every single person who ever shared a stage, a set, or a microphone with him has the same story. They never stood a chance.